Scaffolding, a training for paraeducators. Often in the classroom, I present a lesson and work through different processes with the students. Then, at the conclusion of the lesson, we divide the students into small groups, and you, the paraeducator, may work with a small group of students or with students individually. The purpose of this training is to ensure that you are properly scaffolding for the students during this time of individual work. What is scaffolding? Just as shown in the picture, scaffolding is an underlying structure that is temporary, that is in place to support construction. When we think of a scaffolding in a typical sense, when we think of scaffolding as far as education, scaffolding is a temporary structure that is in place to provide the supports needed for a student to successfully learn a concept or process. According to the Iris Center, instructional scaffolding is a process through which a teacher adds supports for students in order to enhance learning and aid in mastery of tasks. The teacher does this by systematically building on students' experiences and knowledge as they are learning new skills. Modeling and guided practice. There are basically two components that you will need to keep in mind when scaffolding for students. Modeling, according to the Iris Center, modeling throughout the process, students should be able to watch their teacher model or demonstrate each step in the task or strategy multiple times. That is especially true for our students who are in the special education program. Often they need those multiple times, those multiple attempts. So we want to show those steps repetitively. Also, guided practice. The students, either individually or as a group, must have the opportunity to collaboratively work with the teacher to practice the task or the strategy. And through this training, when I'm referring to teacher, I'm referring also to you, the paraeducator. It is perfectly fine to lead students to the answer. It might be better to say to gently guide the student to the answer rather than forcefully lead. An example. Sometimes we model the thought process. It's not necessarily the question for which we are trying to lead the students to an answer. We are trying to instill within them the process that they should mentally go through when trying to answer a question. Turtles are amphibians. What are amphibians? A. Animals that live on land. B. Animals that live in water. D. Animals that are able to live on both land and in water. Or D. Animals that are now extinct. Let's say that we have posed this question to a student, and the student answers with letter D, animals that are now extinct. We may say, Animals that are now extinct. Extinct means no longer on this earth. They are completely gone. Can we see turtles today? And the student will probably answer with yes. And then you can say, well, we can rule out letter D as the correct answer because we know we can go outside and you can find a turtle today. Let's look at option A. Animals that live on land. Do we see turtles that live on land? The student will probably say yes. Okay, it is a good practice to always look at all of our options. So even though option A is true, let's look at letter B. Animals that live in water. Can turtles live in water? Yes. Yes, they can. So both option A and option B are somewhat correct. Let's look at letter C. Animals that are able to live on both land and in water. Okay, so turtles are amphibians. Can turtles live on land? Yes. Can turtles live in water? Yes. So turtles are animals that live in both water and on land, and they are amphibians. So turtles are amphibians. They are animals that are able to live both in water and on land. Modeling using partially complete models through computer software is very effective in teaching science in the field of biology. This study has found that student learning was greatly increased by the use of partial models. And that is according to Mueller et al. In the same token, we can use step-by-step instruction to teach students functional skills. Let's say tying their shoe, for example. When teaching shoe tying, you have a shoe and the student has a shoe. You say, first, take one string in each hand and pull it tight while you're modeling that direction. Then you say, take the strings and cross them to make an X while you model that direction. Let's say the student is unable to complete the next step. Lay down your shoe and take the student's hands and use the hand over hand method and pull one string through the other and then make the loops and finish tying the shoe with the hand over hand. After some time and practice, let the student complete one more step independently until they are able to complete the entire process. Then we will fade the visual prompt. And I will help you with that as far as the fading of prompts, but I just kind of want you to get an idea of the process. Okay, so we have discussed scaffolding. Could someone tell me what is scaffolding? That is correct. Instructional scaffolding is a process through which a teacher adds supports for students in order to enhance learning and aid the mastery of tasks. Modeling. Can someone tell me what is modeling? Yes, the process of showing the student the procedure as you are explaining it step by step. Guided practice. Could someone tell me what is guided practice? Yes, students and teacher collaboratively working together to complete the task as a model. Thank you all so much for your attention, and I look forward to working with you on this modeling and scaffolding process in class.